everybody, good buddy Q here with more Meryl and August. Last we left off, we were having pie. Well, August was having pie. And we were talking about things in tavern. So the two of us sat ourselves at the only free table available. August began to eagerly devour his pie slices, while I sat there and looked around, waiting for Gregor to come back with food. After a few minutes, August finished his food. I love pie! Obviously. Everything okay? Huh? Oh, I'm fine. He was looking around oddly. Actually, I think I'm just going to be back in a moment. I could see that he spotted the men's bathroom. You can head yourself for a few minutes, right? I'll be right back. He got up and left the table. Now's my chance to get the fuck out of here. Hey, aren't you supposed to be keeping an eye on me? He was too far away to hear me. By that point, to hear me. Wow, that was pretty stupid of him. But lucky for me. I could suddenly imagine why Gregor had to keep after August if he did things like this so frequently. If I was seriously thinking about escaping, I could easily sneak out. However, a quick glance by the exit showed me that Gregor was standing right by it, patiently waiting in line. Well, I couldn't exactly sneak by Gregor, could I? Suddenly finding myself alone and slightly bored, I couldn't help but overhear a conversation a group of older-looking men at the next table were having.
I don't know about you, but I'd be worried if my son was living in the capital.
I would be too if this was a year ago, but things have changed since then, or so my son tells me. I don't care about what's happening down there.
Oh, he's too young to know that things really don't change in a year's time. What? There was a huge battle in the capital not a half year ago. You honestly think it's safe?
They purged the city after that battle, though.
Surely that counts for something, doesn't it? You're starting to sound like your son now. Do you really think everything's just going to settle down and be grand after a huge upheaval like that? They just displaced the bandits from the capital into the countryside. That doesn't fix any of the problems. It just moved them to our neighborhoods. The dicks.
Wow. I didn't know any of this was going on. Maybe I should have paid more attention into what was going on in my own country.
Great! Looks like Greg hasn't come back yet. I will get in trouble.
August sat down at the table while the men at the next table kept talking.
You're way too lenient on the government. Ever since the new parliament was appointed, it's been all downhill.
Well, I agree with you there. Our taxes have been nothing but increased, while we have no idea where it's going. August had a funny look on his face. Yeah, okay, August?
Yeah?
He turned around to face the two men having the conversation beside us.
I bet they're just squandering our money on stupid parties and balls, so we're out here working hard.
Absolute fools, all of them.
Excuse me, I couldn't help but overhear your conversation.
Uh-oh. The two men then turned to look at August. I had a bad feeling in the pit of my stomach.
Huh? What do you want?
You were saying that the government was just wasting your tax money, but I wanted to let you know that wasn't the case at all.
Huh, like you're anything that's going on in the government. I'm a royal guard, you dick. Wait, their uniform. Hey, he's a member of the Royal Guard. Don't mind what he says, he's just one of their lapdogs. Lapdog? I am not! Ha! At least to be honest with yourself, the whole pack of them is infested with yes-men who would rather lay down their lives for our terrible king than to actually question the actions of the government they're so loyal to. You dick!
August slammed his fist down on the table.
Take that back.
The two men laughed.
I mean it!
Look what your stupid views have gotten us into now.
You're overreacting. I haven't gotten us into anything. It's just a little puppy yapping at us, that's all. I'm only going to say this one more time. Take that back. You don't understand what's going on.
Still haven't gotten us into anything, huh? The second man stood up from the table with an intimidating look on his face.
So the puppy might start to nip. That's no problem. Cracks Knuckles.
The people around us started to notice a change in the atmosphere, which was ready to explode in a fight at any moment. Gregor!
What?
August got into some shit!
God damn it!
I could still see Gregor in line, where he hadn't noticed what was going on at our table. Just then the second man lunged towards August, throwing a punch towards his face. August dodged and drew his blade for a counterattack. August! He swung, and unfortunately caught the edge of the table. Thunk. He didn't have enough room to adequately fight in here. No! This is bad, I need to do something!
Get Gregor's attention.
Before the fight got any more out of hand, I decided to call for help! Gregor! I desperately started to wave my hands, hoping to catch Gregor's attention. Luckily it worked. Not without Gregor first giving me an odd look before I realized what was going on.
Oh, fuck. August! August, stop!
Gregor came barreling over, anger lining his features.
Gregor!
Oh, shit! Momentarily distracted, August didn't see the man throw another punch, which connected hard with its target, and August fell down. Thud.
See? What did I tell you? Nothing to worry about.
After seeing his people fall on the ground, Gregor's face filled with rage, and he picked up one of the large tables that the customers were sitting at and flung it across the room. Holy shit, Gregor! I quickly dodged out of the way and heard the table slam into the two men. I could hear the painful grunt, so at the very least I knew they hadn't died.
We're leaving. Now!
Gregor grabbed August's arm and dragged him out of the tavern with me close on their heels. He threw August in the carriage as I quickly jumped into the back. I'm just gonna stay out of this one. I ain't in trouble now.
That hurt.
Probably not as much as the guy back there is feeling after catching Gregor's table with his face.
Here, I was able to at least get us food before we left.
He handed me a turkey sandwich. Yay! Oh, my favorite! How'd you know?
I found one running in your backpack, remember? And you, August, I have no idea what in the world happened back there. Those two were... And honestly, I don't care. You're supposed to be setting a good example for the Royal Guards, not picking a fight with random people in taverns, no matter what they said. We should really get back on the road. Remember, we need to keep a low profile. Who knows where the rest of the Dirks could show up. Right.
Gregor whipped the horses into a run, and we were off. We rode through the night with no stops, due to Gregor's worries that escaping Dirks might come with the target.
Well, I should probably save, by the way, because I made a choice there. Think. Yay. Okay. Return.
Would come to target them. Blah, blah, blah. At first, I was a little irritated that I was stuck in the back of the carriage, tucked away with all the other baggage. But as the night progressed, I was thankful that at least I was able to take semi-comfortable naps. Gregor and August, on the other hand, had gone without a wink of sleep. As dawn finally came, I found myself well rested while my two companions were wanting for a good nap. The sun was just beginning to emerge above the horizon when Gregor turned to talk to me.
So, Miss Adventurer...
What? The pounding of horses' weary hooves filled the space between our strained words.
We'll be taking you back home before we go to the capital. But I know you're on your little quest here.
Uh-huh. Another silence. I was beginning to worry that even the horses might need a good rest.
Somewhat of a treasure quest, right? And it would be a shame for all that treasure to go lost for even longer, it being stolen royal jewelry and all.
What's your point?
My point is, that little treasure map of yours is important. And I think it would be both of our interests to recover the goods. Here's my proposal. I take your treasure map, find the treasure, and reward you handsomely for whatever we find.
What kind of proposal is that?
A good one. I could give you the money up front, if you prefer that.
No! Oh. I think you're completely missing the point to the treasure map.
Oh?
Treasure maps are about adventure, not about how much money you get.
You're kind of twirled around.
I'm the younger generation. Fuck off.
Did you just tell the royal guard to fuck off?
Yes.
Oh. Ah.
I could hear Argus stifling a laugh. I need more sleep.
What's so funny?
Oh, nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Fuck.
Vicker slugged August in the shoulder. August fell over, most likely due to exhaustion.
I'm fucking wrecked. Good night. Oh, no you don't. All right. I think it's time for us to make a stop.
Gregor stopped the horses in a clearing in the forest. We all started to unload the sleeping mats and blankets off the carriage. I realized something then. I wasn't tired at all. Yet they were going to sleep, which would leave me unsupervised. What's wrong, Meryl? He stifled a yawn. Huh?
August, just go to bed.
Bye. Kecker had an exasperated look on his face.
And you, Meryl, go to bed.
Okay. I wasn't tired, but I did what I was told. I climbed under the blanket of the empty sleeping mat and tried to fall asleep. A few minutes later, Gregor began to snore. I knew it was my chance to escape. I got up and quickly picked up my backpack. August and Gregor were both sleeping soundly. I just gotta be really quiet. Don't step on any sticks. They must have been exhausted. I looked around. Well, at least I had a few hours before they had to be awake. I know you're just trying to help me, but I don't want my adventure to be over yet. I smiled to myself and headed off a little ways to see what was around. I found a small river and decided to be a nice spot to plan my next step. I sat down and looking at the peacefully flowing river, I could hear the soft calls of birds in the distance. This is a really nice spot. I pulled out my treasure map to see where my next stop was. It was the swamp. Yes, the I can't pronounce it either. Sagittal swamp. Yes. It seemed far away, but I could do it. Except, I have no idea where I am. Too bad the map doesn't show my present location. That'd be great. Have a GPS? Damn. Well, at the very least, my first step is to cross this river. I took a step into the swift-flowing river and began to cross. You're not even going to look for a bridge? Not a few seconds later, water was up to my knees and quickly rising. Uh-oh. I may not have thought this through. Then my foot stepped into a hole and I went under. A few seconds later, I was able to right myself and began to fight stronger to get to the other side. After what seemed like an eternity, I made it to the other side. Finally on safe soil, I fell to the ground and fell asleep. Hakusho. Sometime later, I woke to the sound of birds calling their evening greetings. The sky was orange. How long was I asleep? I slowly got up and found I was still drenched and sore all over. I must have tumbled around more than I thought when I slipped. Memories of my struggle flooded back. I looked across the other bank to take in my great work. Oh. That's kind of embarrassing. From the side of the bank, the river worked, well, puny. All that fighting and bravery earlier had only amounted to about 6 feet of distance traveled. Well, Meryl, you fought for this, so you might as well take it. Embarrassed or not, I'd made my decision. I turned towards the forest and took my first step into my new chapter of my adventure. And then I had to stop because of the pain. I was way too sore to do anything. I sat back down. This is so embarrassing. I fought to get this far. What kind of adventure am I anyway? Mom! I buried my hands in my face to hide my shame from no one in particular. I was wallowing in self-pity when a sharp growl broke the silence. Uh-oh, that means it's time to save. Yay. Return. What?
Oh, it's a donkey! It's a wolf!
There was a white wolf right in front of me. Shit. A wolf? Shit. Where did it come from? Where'd it go? Where'd you come from, White Wolf Joe? There is no time to think about that now. Okay, Meryl, let's think back to school. Wolves are actually fairly timid creatures, right? They only attack if you provoke them. Just don't provoke it. Just like the snake. I should be fine. The wolf took another step towards me. His nostrils flared. Oh. You're not supposed to be doing that. I'm not provoking you. I am like a mouse. A low snarl came from the wolf's bare teeth. I began to crawl backwards slowly.
Climb the tree!
I was at a loss. Was it going on to end here? Tears began to fill my eyes. No! Crying isn't gonna help! But it's something I'm gonna do anyway! The wolf was too close now. That I could do was brace myself for an attack. No, I wasn't going to go like this. Think, Meryl, I have to do something. I took a deep breath. Suddenly, the answer was obvious to me. I already tested my odds and invaded a thief's den. I can handle a wolf. I was world's an adventure now, and real fighters fight their problems head-on. I looked the wolf straight in the eye. I wasn't afraid. Nothing could stop me now. The wolf lunged, and I flung myself out of its path. A rock pierced my hand as I landed, and I let out a scream of pain. I struggled to my feet before the wolf could round me again. Scrambling to pick up the rock that had pierced my hand, I held it out in front of me. Fuck you, I have blood! Now, see here? You don't want to mess with me. I'm an adventurer, and you're just a doggy. I'll kick you! I was now running on sheer adrenaline. I smiled madly. At the very least, it was going to be fun and a rough, tough adventure, even if I'm not to survive to see the end of my adventure. The wolf shot forward again, aiming for my arm. I stepped to the side and brought the rock down, missing. I backed up to put myself more distance between the enemy and myself. Before I could start planning my next move, the wolf let out a scream of pain. There was a dagger lodged in one of its eyes. What? The fuck? I didn't do that. My rock's still in my hand. Who the fuck? What? Meryl, get down! I threw myself on the ground, recognizing August's voice. Oh, good. All of a sudden, there was fire everywhere, and the fool fled. Fire! 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 My little adventure act was over. I began to panic. Why was there fire everywhere? What exactly caused it? I had no idea. I was about to stand around to find out. I turned to the river and dived in. Meryl, are you okay? I turned around to the voice. August was standing on the other side of the shore, getting ready to cross the river. Oh, August. I couldn't help but grimace. My adventure really was over. He had finished crossing the river in my current condition. I wasn't able to outrun him. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to throw the fireball near you, but you and the wolf were so close, it's kind of hard to miss you. Fireball? Oh! You mean you're the reason for that? I am bleeding from my hand and slightly concussed. I can't words. Okay. I turned in the general direction of what I hoped wouldn't turn into a forest fire. Luckily enough, August snapped his fingers and the fire extinguished. That's fucking neat. Yeah, magic. Haven't you ever seen it before? Well, only in festivals and events. Hardly anyone in my village knows magic. But it usually isn't so flamboyant. August looked at me oddly. Stronger magic tends to be a little more showy. You know, extra flair gives it the extra boost. Sorry, I guess. Oh, I didn't mean that in a bad way. It was very spectacular and such. It was big and red and warm, and my hand's bleeding. What was I even saying? Meryl, are you okay? Why, I'm fine. Bullshit. Completely fine. Why wouldn't I be? Ha ha ha. Well, I mean, I found you on the other side of the bank fighting a wolf. Is there something you want to tell me? And I would have won too. Humph! I held out my rock to show him. Meryl! He grabbed my hand. Did it bite you? Are you alright? What am I saying? Of course you're not. There's blood everywhere. What was he talking about? I looked up at the hand he was holding. Oh. Kind of adrenaline rush there. There really was blood everywhere. That must have been the reason I was feeling so lightheaded, other than, adrenaline. Before I knew what was happening, August picked me up and started walking back to the other shore. Well! Sorry, but we really need to get you seen to. All our bandages are back at the carriage. Hey, wait a minute. Isn't this kind of rude? What do you mean? I mean, you picking me up out of the blue like that. You could at least have asked me first instead of just going ahead and invading someone's personal space like that. Oh, right. Where are my manners? August put me down. Miss Meryl, I do think we ought to be getting back to the carriage, and I believe we could get back quicker if I were to carry you. What with you being wounded and all. His manners weren't shabby at all. Oh, sure, I guess. It's kind of embarrassing, though.
Yoink.
He picked me back up again.
How so?
Well, I mean, this! A boy carrying a girl princess style is something that really only sees in cheesy picture books.
Oh, so it's the princess style carrying that's the problem here. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to insinuate anything. I can fix that. I'll just throw it over my shoulder like a sack of potatoes.
All of a sudden, he slung me over my back like I was a sack of potatoes.
Ha-ha! I'm good.
Hey!
Less embarrassing?
More like demeaning. We made it back over to the other side of the river, and August put me back down.
How about we just walk back together, then?
I'm afraid I don't really know other ways to carry people.
I need to do more research.
He sure was taking it seriously. Hey, August? He was deep in thought and apparently hadn't heard me. August!
Yeah? Why, I was zoning out.
I think you're putting much too thought with this. The whole princess style thing was perfectly fine. I'm just teasing you.
Oh, I can't really tell the difference between sarcasm and actually.
You don't have to fret too much about it.
But it wasn't. It was the wrong way to treat an injured person. I need to figure out what to do in the right course of action in situations like these.
He began to look more serious, clearly fixated on finding the correct action. Let's just go back. The mood's kinda killed now.
Oh, sorry.
I'm starting to feel lightheaded. He was frowning, lost in thought. August?
It's nothing. Let's get back to camp.
Alright. I watched his back as he disappeared into the forest. On his way towards the camp, I couldn't shake an ominous feeling that had overtaken me. Hi! Congratulations, your choices have guided you to the treasure route.
A treasure! Unfortunately, I've not started work on this route yet, so there's nothing to show. Damn. Please go back and what play is available on the capital route. Okay. In order to access the capital route, have Meryl do 2 of the following 3 things. Have her leave the cave immediately. Have her ask August what he would do in her shoes. Have Meryl call Gregor for help in the tavern. Well, I did that one. So I just need to have her leave or have her ask August what she would do in her shoes. Which, luckily, I have that previous save. Hope you enjoy what I'm doing on the capital route. Thanks for playing. Mwah. So, let's go back to here. And just... oh, shit. Is there a skip mode? I don't know. But I'll be right back when I'm back at that point. Okay, so now we're back on here, so let's see what the different dialogue was for what would you do in my situation.
August! He still didn't turn around. What would you do if you're in my situation? That certainly caught his attention. He turned around with a puzzled look on his face.
Huh?
You failed your test, right? Just like I did. Imagine if you were me. What would you do right now?
Oh, Miss Adventurer,
It's Meryl.
Huh?
My name. It's Meryl.
Well, Meryl, I was hoping not to empathize with you, but you're right. If I were you, I would do the same thing you're doing now. But I can't just change my mind.
Why not?
Because it's the right thing. It's the right thing to bring you back home.
Says who?
Says Gregor. Says my sister. Says everyone.
This isn't some fill-in-the-blank question, August. There is no right answer.
There is when one answer has someone dead at the end of it. I stopped in my tracks.
What?
Shoot. I was trying to keep my calm and everything.
August stopped himself and put on a serious face.
Meryl, don't freak out, okay? But you really shouldn't be out there. Those people, the Dirks, there's a lot of them.
But Gregor was just telling me that both of you had already rounded up a lot of them.
Sure, we've gotten a lot of them, but not all of them. There are so many of them out there. They're dangerous, Meryl. They might be weaker than before, but they're still a threat.
What? let's just say the less we talk about this, the better. Just take my word for it. Terrible things are happening, Meryl, and it would be best for you to go back home to your mom, where you'd be least likely to get killed. I began to feel something I hadn't felt in a long time. Sheer terror. My adventure, the grand journey in my head, seemed to all but disappear, replaced by cold, harsh reality. If only I was stronger, more able to fend for myself. But I wasn't. I was just some silly girl out on a run hoping to find... what, exactly? Fun? The meaning of life? I suppose you're right. I hadn't meant to sound so sad, but there was no masking my disappointment. I'm so sorry, Meryl. Maybe when this is all over, you can go on your adventure then. I knew that'd be too late then, but I didn't say anything to him. We both knew in our hearts that this was it. He handed me a bag he was carrying and motioned for me to jump into the back of the carriage. I could see Gregor at the reins. How long had he been there? Had he overheard everything? I was already in a bad mood, so as soon as I got into the back of the carriage, I grabbed the nearest blanket and tried to hide myself away from the world by making a small, dark cocoon beneath the warm covers.
So, what's the plan, Master?
Don't give me lip, Captain of the Royal Guard. We're taking her back home.
Good. That's one less dead girl we have to bring back home.
The last thing I heard before I drifted off to sleep was the soft sound of the whip and the steady beat of horses' hooves as they drew me closer to home. A couple hours later, they stopped the carriage in front of an old tavern. What are we stopping here for?
Well, just a quick lunch break. Okay, and then we got in here. Yeah, they got pies! I get to get pie again! God! Whatever. So, I'll leave it to where we did it last time. What? Pie? Yes! 2 times the pie, the 3 times the pie equals 5 pie is what I get to eat today. No? Yes! Time loops! Whatever. Okay. Yes. So many. Okay. We'll save here. Right there. Yeah. So next time we'll get back to here, but, like, we'll go forward a bit until the next, thing. So I'll probably... Actually, no, I can probably... Oh. Turn. Go a little bit forward. So we can save it right when the fight starts happening. Na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Da-da-da. Shit. Okay, anyway, yeah, so this is gonna be fun so far. So, I don't know how much there is in the, capital route, but I know I can't go further on the treasure route, so, meh. So, next time, we'll get to see what the capital route is. Maybe get to go domestic adventures, yay ho, yay ho. So, have a good day, everybody. Bye!